Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, Dr. Jason Branch, where we discover who we were, who we are becoming. And today's guest, oh my goodness, y'all better buckle up, Buttercup. Today's guest is going to bring you some heat from the streets, okay? The heat from the streets is personal, is professional, it's real, it's honest, it's authentic, it's empathetic. She exudes power. She exudes grace, space, patience, learning, development. She's going to give you her. Okay. This is a former mentee who happens to be a colleague and now family member of mine. And y'all know I love bringing family on. So with this family member, we started as a mentor-mentee relationship, and she became my mentor over time. We just grew over time. And that growth was growth in the profession and growth personally as well. And I'm pleased to welcome the one and only Dr. Kalesha Jenkins to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely.
ready, rocking and rolling with you.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So dive in. Let's dive in. I'm curious, your story, because my story is very, very different than yours. And I want to share my story of how we met. The first time I reached out, I got your name from NBCC. This is your new mentee, Kalesha Jenkins. I'm like, okay, cool. Dr. Jenkins. That was the first thought that came in my mind. The first thought as soon as I heard your name. So when I called you, that's what I said. Dr. Jenkins, what up? And you like, hold on, wait a minute. Time out. Who is this? How can I help you? And why are you calling me this name? And it was just this kinetic energy of like, oh man, we gonna be good forever. We're gonna be tight for life. And I just felt that energy from our phone call initially. So that's my lived experience. That's my perspective. I would love to hear yours from being the recipient of that phone call.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would join NBCC, 2019. And it's been a roller coaster of just professional and personal growth, I would definitely say. And I could definitely give you your kudos for helping me get to a certain place of that, knowing that I can do this and that there's nothing to really stop me but myself. And so I really truly thank you for allowing from the first time that we connected. And yeah, been rocking and rolling since then.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So I feel like, we struggle in different ways. And that struggle, I'm meaning specifically around academia, around being counselor educators, being Black in this space that's predominantly white. And we struggle with that in different ways because I was already a professor at the time and you were a doc student. And we're just navigating these similar spaces in different ways. And I felt it as much as you did, but I was just ahead a little further to give you insight and input while I'm in the same battles and struggles. So how did you navigate? How did you manage being a Black woman, uh, being an independent, strong, confident, authentic Black woman, navigating these spaces and surviving?
Yeah. Well, I think for all of us is finding your footing in the in the sand. Because oftentimes it truly feels like, who am I against all that is happening and occurring? And the reason why I say that is because one of the things that really helped me build a foundation on that sand, sometimes it's quicksand, to be quite frank with you, that
hold on real quick to the listeners. I told y'all this is honest, this is authentic. We're just having a conversation. Continue.
that to build a foundation on it, it was really trying to step into who I am and who I choose to become, and not allowing anybody to define that for me. And it really takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength for what is up ahead. And to always think forward, and knowing that nobody can truly stop you but yourself. We are no longer, at least in my opinion, at an age where we can allow anybody outside of ourselves to dictate that next step. But we definitely have to understand the systems that we are operating in at the same time. And so that was something that, yeah, I think that's what keeps me pushing and propelling forward, is because I can definitely see systems. And if I had to give anybody any encouragement, learn your systems, and I promise you, you'll be able to flourish.
Oh, wait. So we going to the basement already. Usually we don't go this early. We don't go this early, but we're going early. So for the new listeners, for the new people, understand that I view us human beings on three levels, which is our house. Our house is your body, your temple, who you are as a person. Those three levels or layers. Number one is the attic, very top, which is your mind. A lot of times we live in our head. The second place is the living room. This is where we are normally. This is our most authentic place. Imagine sitting on your couch, shoes and socks off, rubbing your feet together, watching Netflix. That's the living room. Now, below that, beneath that is the basement. That's where your heart lies. That's where all the secrets are. That's where it's the darkest place in the house, but the best place that you can go in order for you to grow. Because once you dig deep, you're going to go up. And the higher you go up, your perspective changes. Now, I didn't know we was going to be here within the
I
first
like
5 minutes of the show, but this is what Dr. Jenkins brings to the show. Okay. I told y'all what was going to happen. So we're already going in deep talking about the structures. But before we get to the structures, I'm curious because the structures are very important. Before you, because the structure is what it is. You discovered it. But before you discovered the structure, it sounded like you discovered you. So I'm curious, where did you get this courage and confidence to just do it anyway and keep pushing and keep striving? And because a lot of people, a lot of us, specifically Black people, we may not have that in this certain direction. And for you, you had the courage, you had the confidence, or you grew it or developed it to even face those systems. Because so if you could talk about that first, talk
Mhm.
about that piece first and then the systems.
Mhm. Well, I will say I come from a very strong lineage of Black women. I don't think I've ever not seen a strong Black woman, at least within my familial structure. And so it was always ingrained that you keep pushing forward. Both my mother and my father had very strong work ethic. So it was instilled that if you want something, you better go do it because I'm not going to do it for you. So with the work ethic and a strong lineage of saying that you got to keep pushing, it was never in my peripherals to not move forward, at least where I chose to go on a daily basis. Um, and so it really, oftentimes I'm not gonna lie to say I questioned it for a long time, especially I would say early adolescence and young adulthood. But it was once really started grounding my footing, and that was around after my father had passed, to be quite frank, where it felt like my life was blowing up because he was a real critical good, strong Black man role model that really helped me just understand how I think, which is very different than most. And anybody that talks to me long enough, they'll figure that out. Um, but he always helped me, like, your brain is your most powerful tool. So if you see the world differently, then how can you help others get to where you are at? And I always took that as a challenge. And so yeah, and ever since then, I got into mental health and I got into counseling and counselor education, and it's been like that since. Um, and it's a good mix. Sometimes I shock myself, to be quite frank, because I'm like, oh, I said that. I'm smart. Where did that come from? Oh, that came from the ancestors. That's where that one came.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, that came from the soul. And that was, and I just like to challenge myself to say, how can I become the most authentic and the most best person that I can be? Not for nobody else, but to see where my next best move is. And yeah, that's it.
Wow, I love it. I love it. So we in the basement. We going back to the basement. You mentioned systems, which raise my antennas because you and I speak the same language. So for those who don't know or may not be aware of the systems, and you can talk about anyone that you choose, tell us more about it and ways to navigate it once you discover it.
Oh. Well, systems is all around us. It's the things that we are taught. It's the things that keeps us in a cycle, I would say, because there's many things that have functions, but from the times that that's been ingrained in us. And those are the systems that has taught us what to expect from people, from society, within our cultures. It's those traditions. All those things are the makeup of those systems that tells us how we're supposed to operate with other people, because we're humans.
Yeah.
And so, because most people have to interact, because none of us, especially in America, lives in isolation. Thus, we're living in a system with a lot of people and a lot of personalities. But some have figured out how to construct a reality for all of us to live in.
Ooh.
And so those systems, I'm saying it very prophetically, but also philosophically, in the sense that so oftentimes people don't even realize that they're operating the way that the system has told them to do it.
Ooh, whoa, time out. Whoa, slow. Wait a minute. Wait, you're not just gonna drop bombs and leave. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. And I say this out of love. This is your norm, like you live it every day, but this is new to some. And what you just said is a shocker to the system. It shocks the system because you're making it plain, you're making it real, you live it, you know it, you navigate it. So I would love if you could share more about that point related to, the systems and the awareness and not even knowing. So if you could give us an example of someone, or maybe even you, or anything related to not recognizing the system or recognizing it after the fact. So any examples will be helpful for the listeners.
Well, well, my research is in, of course, you hear me say this, is in self-awareness.
Okay.
And one of the things that doing this work over several years now, almost a decade. Sounds
Yes,
crazy.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
I know what happened. Is that the more deeper I go into understanding self-awareness, I realize we have been taught not to have it. But that's also a factor of being able to be controlled, because if you're not thinking the way that you are aware of, somebody else has programmed that into you in some capacity. It came from somewhere. We don't just have this ideology about how something is supposed to happen. For example, that when I go outside, I got to put my shoes on. Well, who told you to put your shoes on? Your mind, it didn't just come somewhere. That was ingrained in you from a childhood. Your mom, anybody, like, don't go outside without no shoes on. And those types of things, we don't second guess it, because here again, it's been happening for eons, for however we've been living. And now it's the first thing before I go outside, I got to put shoes on.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, when we bump against that is when you decide to go walk outside with no shoes on. And so now you're like, wait, my feet feel different on the ground. There's a different kinetic happening. And
Yes.
what in the world? And then you got other people looking at you like, why this person got shoes on? And then you got signs standing there like, you can't come here with no shirt and no shoes. Like, oh, I didn't even realize this was a thing. I just wanted to walk around with no shoes.
Wow.
And so it's those types of things that the systems have already ingrained in us before we even start to think for ourselves. And it happens very, very young. But here again, it's the system at play. Sometimes it's there to protect us, and sometimes it's there to just keep us gridlocked.
Wow. Whew. We gonna need breaks. This episode, we gonna need breaks on this episode to digest what you laying down. I mean, this is spot on. I love the example, and everyone that's listening can relate. Everybody that's listening can relate. If you don't relate to the shoes and socks or the shoes analogy, and you even went deep on the grounding. I mean, you didn't say that, but that's what it was. Like, why do my feet feel different? Like, this just speaks to your awareness and the levels and layers that you have. So if it's not the shoes, it could be for many of the listeners, that junk drawer that you still got that's followed you since birth, that carries all type of things that you could use, but you don't, or the things that don't work. If it's not that, it's the bag full of plastic bags. It's the Jet magazine that's still on your shelf in this past 1987. If it ain't you, it's your grandmama and them. It's keeping things that
Mhm,
no longer serve the person that we are right now. And you're speaking to all of that.
mhm,
And for the listeners, this is a great opportunity for you to pull out your scales journal to write down these concepts, these ideas, these thoughts related to how it applies to my life. When was the last time I've been outside without shoes on? Never. When was the last time I decided to have my dessert first? Never. It's the rules, it's the systems, it's exactly what Dr. Jenkins is talking about. So I want to go a step further because we still in the basement. And these rules are systems related to academia because you and I both navigated these spaces in different ways across the country, but we still had similar lived experiences, which says a lot. So from your journey from a doc student to a professor, there's still academia, but in two different worlds. What are some things that you noticed from both worlds that you're willing to share? And what are some things that you were able to overcome or learn about yourself through navigating both?
mhm. Ooh, there's a lot. Well, I will tell you, the first thing is I grew up in South Philly. Thank you for the picture in the background.
Let's get
Um,
it.
and I grew up around gangsters. I would call them gangsters and gangs and stuff like that. It was just I didn't ever think about it.
Hmm.
I realized that there's gangsters.
This is so
And I'm
good.
like, oh, this
This
is the
is so.
this is the hood. All right. Oh, we about to get crunk because I don't go down for nobody. You don't just talk to me. No way. We gonna do this. I know who you are. I know I saw you in the streets. You might have
Oh,
a different face, but you're the same. You might
hold
look
on. So
different.
so time out. Because you own it. You own it. So are you telling the listeners, are you telling me that there's gangsters in the hood and in academia? Is
Oh,
that what you're saying right now?
definitely. And also there's bullies. There's always bullies
Ooh,
somewhere. And,
wow.
and what I mean by a bully is just trying to gain power by making
Mm,
others feel into a specific type of position.
wow.
And those types of things that happens. I don't know if it happens everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, right now in America, we see it everywhere. Bullies is just, I mean, I see another social media post at the bottom saying we don't condone bullying, but they show a bully.
Mm,
It's just it's common nature in our society.
hmm.
Um, and so it's something that, like, when I talk about the systems, know that they exist. It's not
Hmm.
there to say that I gotta fight against them all the time, but know where that person is positioned so that you
Yeah.
know what you up against. Because you gotta know if you up against a gangster. You gotta know if you up against a bully, because you surely do not operate the same with both of them. But you gotta definitely know
Mm.
how to be aware of which one you operating in at that given time and moment.
Okay, so now we finna go to school. So we still in the basement. It's a classroom down here too. So so Dr. Jenkins, take us to school, take us to class. If you could, decipher the difference between the two and how do you manage them? Because for me, and I love that we're having this conversation because these are the conversations we're not having publicly. We're having them, but it's not publicly until now, in my humble opinion. So now that we're having it, let's talk about it. In these two worlds, the bully and the gangster in academia, as a graduate student, as a doc student, as a fellow, as all these different hats that we wear, how do you recognize them and how do you not get swallowed up by them?
No. Well, as I said before, you gotta know who you connecting with,
Mm,
because you're not going to connect with each of those individuals the same. But you also got to find your safe haven, because you cannot
mm.
fight against them all the time. You need to know when to break, or even when it's time. Sometimes you might have to align with them.
Ooh,
Just so,
look the
just
the
for cover.
strategies right now.
Just for cover. And no, it's nothing against your character. It's for
Mm. Wow.
safety purposes.
Wow.
And then know when to battle and when to not.
Mm,
Um, and it was one of my wise mentors years ago said to me is that in this world, you only get and one box of bullets. Don't shoot them off in the first round. And so throughout this society, how we operate, from academia to now it look like just the streets, but even the courthouse, they all operate under this mentality that one has to take all, one has to have all the power, and which in reality, at least in my opinion, there's a lot to go around, but we have been taught to live in this scarcity mentality that if I don't have power over you, then I can't exist, which is really not, in my opinion, is quite terrible. But you got to know what you are operating with and know how to sometimes operate under. Depends on where your position is at.
Wow. Wow. Dropping gems, dropping jewels. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it feels like to get hit in the head with a honey bun. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's soft, but at the same time, it's assault. So you are getting this knowledge, you are getting this info and this insight. Don't leave it here. Don't leave it here because you're getting information. Some of this stuff may make sense right now. Some of it may make sense later. Some of it you don't even know about yet. But all the things that's being shared is lived experiences, it's awareness, it's self-awareness, it's growth, it's development, it's change, it's shifting. Those three parallels, who we were, who we are, who we're becoming. So Dr. Jenkins is talking about those three parallels of who she once was in order to be who she is right now, which I'm proud to say, going from the student navigating both worlds to a faculty navigating both worlds, and then now in administration, like to be a chair of a department, which means that gangster side, that gangster mentality worked where you were able to cater it to the environment to be successful because everybody doesn't get to be the chair of a department. Everybody doesn't want to be. Everybody doesn't have desire. Everybody's not chosen. So therefore, for you to do whatever was necessary to get here, how did you do it and how do you maintain it? And what I mean by maintaining is your sanity because the systems are still at play no matter where you are or who you are. So for the listeners, for those who are not aware, you know, just your lived experience of going from where you were to where you are and maintaining it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been up against a lot of adversity, and I don't say this lightly, but God. Praise.
Come on now. Come on, we finna go to church. We finna go to church.
I'm okay shouting in a second. It's a faith walk sometimes. And it's allowing God to use me the way that I'm supposed to be here and really trying to be purposeful in my actions and knowing that everything I'm doing now is built for the future and being very cognizant that if every move and every shift that I make has a ripple effect. So I got to be conscious that what I do now is ultimately going to affect my kids, my kids' kids, their kids, because I'm now shifting that foundation of trauma and all that generational mess. Now I'm building on a different foundation on that's trying to get off that quicksand and into actual fresh soil so that they don't have to do that anymore. So keeping on that perspective, that foundation, I had to literally uproot from some of those things that I thought that society told me I needed to be.
Yeah.
And was trying to pull me down into. Now it's like, how do I maintain it? But also know that I have the gifts, the skills, the tools to be able to do so and have that confidence and strength and courage to say that this foundation may feel different, but it is way stronger than the previous one. And so, yeah.
In the head, 100 months. So listen, there's a lot of bread. There's a lot of bread. So you knew this was going to be the show, right? You knew this was going. I'm going to be me no matter what. Now, audience, listen up. Me and Kalesha, we talk like this all the time. Whenever we talk, this is what we talk about. We just allowing y'all to be a part of the conversation. So y'all have a privilege right now, okay? It's a privilege to be here because this is what we do anyway. So I want you all to pay attention to what's being said, what's not being said, because everything that's being said or not said is all intentional. So when you're navigating these spaces intentionally, that's what keeps you in front. It keeps you ahead. You'll never get caught behind. You never get caught slipping. Again, it connects to the origin. You know, growing up around the same types of people that's in academia. These people, no matter what. And to go a little further with it is recognizing that people will always be just that, people.
Mhm.
And last time I checked, you cannot stop people from peopling.
Mm-mm.
So so therefore,
Absolutely not.
no matter where
Absolutely not. I concur
no matter
1,000%.
you're going to deal with this. My belief is people will be peopling, but there's a special thing that happens to people, a special thing, a few special things that happen to people that enhances who they are. To me, number one is money. Number two is education, meaning the more degrees I have, the more I feel as though I'm better than anybody else. Now, this isn't for everybody, but there's a lot of people which connects to what you were talking about. And my belief is I don't care what human being you are, no one gets through these programs, graduate level, master's or doc, unscathed. You don't get through unscathed. Something happens throughout that process. Work getting stolen, uh, tragedy, grief, loss, hurt, pain, from the gangsters, from from the hood folks. We're talking about in academia, from the hurt people, from the bullies, from the people who haven't worked on themselves, from the helping professionals that hurt helping professionals. There's a lot of us that got hurt, that get hurt along the way. And that experience can make you, break you, or do both. So it sounds like this sounds familiar where you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the hat, and now you're here.
Cape too. It was.
So if you could share as much as you want your lived experience to go through it, got through it, like you did it, regardless of what was thrown at you, you did it, and now you're here and you rocking the cape and standing on the shoulders of giants. If you could share the how of getting here and not losing yourself in it as well.
I would say, I think at one point I did lose myself. And the reason why I say that is because I needed to lose the idea of who I thought I was going to be.
Real quick, time out. Listen, you cannot keep dropping these bombs in here. Bombs over Baghdad, ATL, like, come on, Outcast, like for real. You can't keep doing this. I got very novice ears listening to this show. You hitting hard. You hitting really hard. But I'm gonna allow you to keep doing you. We need pauses. People got to digest what you're putting down. Listen to the listeners. Do not speed past this episode. There is so much being shared. There's so many layers to it. Don't pay attention to what you hear the first time. Rewind it, listen back to it, keep listening. You're going to hear more messages every time you hear the same message. I'm going to say that and I'm going to shut up. We needed a timeout. Let's get back in the game.
Yeah, because here again, as I said previously, is that if you would have told me 20 years ago that this is where I was going to be, I would have laughed in your face. But back then, I thought I had it all together. I was modeling, I was traveling, I was doing, all these different things. I was on top dating basketball players, don't tell nobody that. But I was doing all these things. And I'm just like, oh, this is the life. And I thought I was successful because that's what I saw around me. But then as I started to really like venture into who am I had no sense of real self. It was like I was everything everybody told me I was supposed to be. And when I started to find myself, it was like, do I even like this person? And if I don't, then what do I do with it? But this is me.
Yeah.
And so I had to lose the idea that this is what I'm supposed to look like, or this is what I'm supposed to be like for me to actually find my authentic and true self. And there was a lot of challenges, especially here again, going back to the quicksand.
Yeah.
That the mentality, especially in the Black community, is, and we all have heard it, this crabs in the barrel mentality. That quicksand has been there for generations, and we don't have to go down the historical path of why that has occurred. But that quicksand was often the things that was keeping me gridlocked into this mentality that I actually knew who I was actually becoming. And so now I'm at a place where or at least through that journey, it was a lot of challenges to rip open those wounds, rip open that stuff to get me from that.
Yeah.
Even as painful as it was. And it was like, I was like dazed. It took me a couple years after to be like,
Yeah.
what has happened? Wait, pause. Who am I? Am I that? I don't know. I was whipped around several times. But in a lot of ways, I'm thankful for it. Don't ever go back to it. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it made me realize that I am who my ancestors needed. I'll put it that way.
Ooh,
Um,
ooh.
and I'm here now. So
Wow. Dropping gems, dropping bars. Man, listen, I knew it was gonna go somewhere. I didn't know where. I just knew. And this is to me, this is a part of the conversation that a lot of students don't get to have. They don't know, they're not privy to, but they have the conversations with their peers. And for us as colleagues, we've been having this conversation since we've known each other. And I feel as though it's what helps us stay sane in it because we're still in it, we still live it. And it's really difficult, as you were talking about with the systems, is that quicksand never goes away. It never goes away. It's still a part of something. Even when you build that solid foundation, layers beneath that solid foundation is the quicksand that's still there. And I feel like, what you're sharing is you had to experience that side of life in order to be this version. And I feel the same way. Like all of the dark things that I've gone through helped me become this version. So I'm thankful for it. But I agree with you 100%. I don't never want to do that shit again. So I never want to experience that again. I never want that to happen to me again, but I'm thankful it happened because now I'm on the other side. For many of the listeners, you're in the middle of it, you just got through it, or it hasn't happened yet. This is a part of the experience. Now, this is my belief. I don't know if you got through a master's program or doc program unscathed. Come to the show and let us know how you did it. Because you know something we don't know, because I don't know any student that gone through without something happening, either personally or professionally. So I really appreciate you sharing your story, sharing your truth, and giving us an opportunity to see within, to see beneath the surface, and sharing your truth, because for a lot of us, we don't share it because we don't feel safe to. So you feel safe enough in this environment to share it, and your lived experience will impact several people that's listening to the show. And I really appreciate you sharing it. So we're going to switch gears for a moment, a little rapid fire questions, because I'm curious to know where we're going to go here. Because we was just in the basement. We was in the classroom in the basement. Now we're in the living room with our feet up. So with our feet up, I'm curious to know, throughout your years in time, what would you say you've learned about people?
Ooh. If you look to people, they'll always fail you.
Whoa. Whoa. Explain, break it down. You got to break it down. You can't drop a bomb and leave. I need you to break it down.
Here again, I've been doing this self-awareness research for a little bit. And that oftentimes most people around you are mirroring you. But if you're not grounded enough in who you are and you're looking to them for something, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to live up to that.
Oh my God. Hold on. No, wait a minute. Wait. I'm so tired of you right now. Like, you just coming in here beating the audience up. Listen, y'all, I tried to warn you. I didn't know she's going to be beating y'all up like this. You just beat the buzzing folks upside the head. So goodness. I can't disagree with any of that. I can't, because what you're sharing is the expectation that we have based off of the movie that we created in the attic.
Mhm.
That's exactly what you're talking about. We create this movie and we put that movie on this person and
Mhm.
expect them to play the character that we designed them to be, and instead of accepting them for who they actually are.
Yep.
Is that valid?
That is 100% valid.
Oh my goodness. Listen, y'all better get in that basement or go back to the attic and get you a new story. You're going to have to do something. All right, next question. That was about other people. Same time, from where you were to where you are. What can you say you learned about yourself?
I'm stronger than what I believed.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Come on, you dropped the bomb. Give us a little more detail. Give us that basement.
I think being a Black woman, and we see this right now happening, we definitely are under attack in so many different capacities. I will definitely say one of it is mentally.
Mhm.
And we are now in a phase, especially as Black women, is that we have to be courageous. It's not there's no other options. We knew our ancestors did it because we're still here, generations are still here. However, I didn't know my strength until I had to actually own my strength. And so it's no longer, I'm no longer in a phase to say that it doesn't exist and be afraid of it. Because I actually have to do it on a daily basis. Going up against them gangsters and bullies. So and so I have to really own that strength, and be strong, even when I don't even feel like I am. So.
Oh man. So just know this. I'm quoting you for the book. The book is coming. I'm quoting you. You giving me so much to use. The gangsters and bullies, I've never heard it before. And now y'all hear it first, right? Kalesha been saying this since she was 12. But y'all hearing it first. I'm hearing it in real time. And this needs to be studied. This needs to be talked about because you're talking about something that many of the listeners can relate to. We live in it currently. So, with that said, I'm curious to know who is or was your hero or heroes.
My grandmother.
Grand, tell us about Grand.
Yeah, she had 11 kids, and had a very turbulent marriage. Um, but she was strong. I never not seen her strong. I didn't really realize until I was reflecting how she made sure that everything was taken care of. And just think, 11, 7 boys, 4 girls. And so, yeah, she's definitely one for the books. She should have been in a book somewhere, but
I love it. I love it. She will be in your book because it's coming too. It's
Mhm.
coming. We speaking it. We speaking it. All right, next. What's a word, phrase, memory, or moment that has stuck with you personally or professionally?
Giving birth to my kiddos, that I became doctor and mom simultaneously, actually a week apart.
Oh, you got to tell a story. If you don't mind. If you don't mind sharing, you got to tell a story. So for the listeners, understand Kalesha was a doc student at the same time managing personal life and having about to have a baby, like in the middle of all the things that you can think of that you don't want to happen. It was happening at the same time. And she did it anyway. So if you could share that story of those two parallels.
uh, Gotta add, it was during the pandemic.
Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
was
3 parallels.
2020, writing a dissertation, pregnant, couldn't go nowhere.
4 parallels. The layers just continue. The layers do not stop.
And all I remember is asking my son in the womb, like, just give mommy a break before we transition into this. And he gave me exactly a week. A week. Okay. I graduated August 7th. They stamped that degree on August 7th, and I had him August 14th.
Wow. Wow. True story.
Won't do it again. Absolutely not. I got my 2.
I
Mm-mm.
love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing your truth. Thank you for sharing your story. And for those who may be in similar spaces, it can be done. It can be done. I don't think it'll be a week apart. I hope it's not a week apart. But if it
Ow.
needed to be, it can be done. This proves that it can be done. All right. So if you could describe those three parallels of who you were, who you are, who you're becoming, using one word for each. If you got more words, that's fine. But how would you describe who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming?
And you said 3 words?
Yeah, one word for each. Who I was this. Who I am is this. Who I'm going to be is this.
Who I was broken.
Mm,
Who I am is healing.
mm.
And who I am becoming is strength.
Mic drop. Oh, mic drop. Okay, two more. I'm gonna ask you one more question. And I'm gonna give you a chance to give to the listeners. So, next question is, what is something about you that people wouldn't believe about you? Something that people don't know about you.
Hmm. I played clarinet for 13 years.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
My mom
Oh,
told me in grade school if she had to hear me toot toot, I was going to toot toot all the way through until I left our house. That's a true story. She said,
so you
if
took one, two. That was 13 years later.
went to high school for it and everything. She was like, "You're gonna be the best
Wow.
toot tutor around here,"
Wow. That
and
is
I
amazing.
was.
That's amazing. Thank you. You just made my day. I had no idea. I love you shared it. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So to close to close out, we having way too much fun on here, and I'm here for it. So to close out, we offer life work. This show offers life work, which is different from homework. Homework, you take it home, you do it, you turn it in, you never remember it again. Life work, you take it home, you do it, your life will change. So, what is it that you would like to offer to the listeners that is life work, a keepsake, something for them to do or consider doing in order for their lives to change? What comes to mind for you?
Self-awareness. And the reason why I say that is because your life will become better once you own it.
Mm.
Nobody else is going
Woo.
to take it for you. Ain't nobody going to revamp it. Ain't nobody coming in to save you.
Ain't nobody coming to save me. Wait a minute. Now, in the attic, I had this movie that I created, and
Nope.
somebody was coming to save me, and you're telling me it doesn't exist.
No, nobody. There's nobody on the horse. They bamboozled us. All these fairy tales and Disney movies. Absolutely not. You gotta do it. You better,
Listen,
you gotta own.
you hurting feelings on this show now. You can't be out here hurting these feelings. Oh my God. Listen. Hey, y'all might want to cancel that Disney subscription. No shade, no shade, no disrespect. They might be an ad later on, but right now, you might need to cancel them dreams. Because better yet, they're not dreams, they're fairy tales. They're
Mhm.
fairy tales. And most of the fairy tales are stored in the attic. Oh,
Mhm.
you dropping gems. You dropping gems. So, for the listeners that want to reach out to you, that want to connect with you, to want to buy you a cup of coffee, or just get more bombs dropped on you, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can always reach me at my website. I have a website called bittersinglemom.com. That is to all my homies that are single moms, and 9 times out of 10, at one point or another, especially if you became a single mom, there is a lot of things that we have to unclutter. And so I actively run that to better support single mothers in their journey because it's necessary, because sometimes it can feel very lonely, but as many of us as a fellow single mom. So you can reach me there at any given time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I love giving flowers. I believe in it. And I love talking to gators because gators can receive flowers. So I am proud. I am impressed. I know that you are. And if you're not, we got some other problems we need to talk about. But for what you've been able to do from the moment we met to where you are right now, I can believe it because I knew then who you were. I knew then exactly who you were, which is the woman that I'm talking to right now. So sometimes we can't see it for ourselves, but other people see it for us. So I'm thankful that my belief in what was in my attic was true about you. And you're everything that you said you were going to be and more. And I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for you. And the work that you're doing is changing lives. Your dreams, you are our ancestors' wildest dreams. You're living it. You're living proof. And you keep showing up. Despite any circumstance, anything around you, you keep showing up. And to me, that's gangster in the most professional, respectful way possible. So I appreciate you. My hat's off to you, my love for you. And this to me is mentorship at its finest because we've transitioned out of that space to a new space. And now we're in a space to give more of us to all. And you're a living example of that. And I'm thankful for you. Salute.
Thank you.
Salute.
Thank you.
Salute.
I value you and appreciate you going to ride this journey with me.
Without a doubt. I'm in the passenger side messing with the radio. So, so I can't even get it out. I did not expect we were going to do this. I did not expect it, but how can I not? This is what we do anyway. So to the listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a life-changing episode if you're paying attention. If you're not paying attention, it was just for entertainment. But if you're really diving in, your life can change because of the information shared from this podcast. The information shared comes from truth. What's truth? Our lived experiences. Nobody can take it away from you. No one can add it to you, to yours. No one can give you false beliefs or ideas or identities that does not belong to you. Remove what doesn't serve you, remove what doesn't belong to you. And as Dr. Jenkins mentioned, that quicksand, we can put a stronger foundation on top of it if you're willing to do the work. And if it sounds like it's too hard, more than likely it is. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Wow.
Come on. Come on. So if this podcast been a blessing to you, if this episode been a blessing to you, don't keep it here. Don't keep it in your ears. Give it away. Share it. Personal, professional. Share that information. Anything that helped you, you never know it can help somebody else. So don't keep this to yourself. This is a gold mine that we're sitting on. I challenge you to use it. Education is great, but it means nothing unless it's applied. I say that in love. Get to work. Peace.